Revenant is directed by Alejandro González and stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hardy, and Donald Gleason. Left for dead after being mauled by a bear, Hugh Glass struggles to survive in the wilderness as he goes on a quest for vengeance against the man who murdered his son. Now that's not a spoiler because you get that in the trailer, and another thing you get to see in the trailer is that brief look at the scene when Leonardo DiCaprio gets mauled by a bear. And wow, I mean, that's one of those scenes where I'm like, how the heck did they pull that off? It looks so gritty and like brutal, and the bear looks really convincing as a visual effect. And there's many scenes like that in this movie where like the way that the scene was constructed and the way it plays out, and especially a lot of the action pieces, they're very gritty and very brutal, and that's something that really sticks out in this film. As well as the acting. Everybody's performance in this film was very good. Tom Hardy definitely needs to come up in the conversation when you talk about this movie because his performance is done so great, because you're supposed to hate his character. And, you know, as much as I really love Tom Hardy as an actor, and his performance is just like really got to you. You're like, oh my god, this guy is such a peg. Will Poulter, I think that's how you say his name, but he had this surprise performance in this movie for me. I mean, it was he had not a big role, but he was in the movie long enough for you to notice him, and his performance really stuck out to me. And of course, Leonardo DiCaprio was outstanding in this film. He had very little dialogue, so it was mostly like physical acting with his, with his body and his face. But man, everything that he had to go through this film, you felt it. It was a lot. I felt how cold he was, and I felt how injured he was and how damaged he was in the movie. And every time DiCaprio has a performance like this, it's inevitable that the mention of will he win the Academy Award for this performance, and I definitely think he deserves at least a nomination because he was brilliant in this film. Even with DiCaprio, Hardy, and Gleason giving great performances, to me what stood out was how the movie was made. I mean, you hear all these things that they use natural light throughout the entire movie. That just, to me, is like, wow, like how the hell? Because the movie looks beautiful. It's a beautifully shot movie, and the fact that they use natural light, I mean, I'm using lights right now, and it's really hard to get a really good image out of studio lights to begin with, but using the sun and fire and just, it's so hard. I mean, I can appreciate how hard it was to make this film, because if anything goes wrong while shooting, I mean, if an actor misses a line, or the camera guy or the focus puller misses their cue, the entire shot's ruined, and you have such a small window of time to accomplish all the shots you need. If you don't get what you want, you have to turn around and do it all over again the next day. And that's pretty much what they did on this film. And I have to that needs to be mentioned, that this is a really great achievement in just filmmaking. And I have to give Alejandro González props there, because to do that, you really have to have a lot of pull on your producers and a lot of influence around on your crew members and on your actors, just having them trust you that much to say, hey guys, I know what I'm doing. I know it's a lot of hard work, but we're gonna make something really great in the end. And that's something that Alejandro González did very well in this film, and it's so noticeable. The movie is gorgeous. I mean, it's just such a spectacle to look at. And a lot of times I was just sitting in the theater just in awe of what I was watching. I'm like, oh my god, and it inspires me to work harder at my craft to become a better videographer and hopefully a better filmmaker down the line. And another thing that's very present in this film is the use of long takes. Now, I want to talk about this because a lot of people don't realize just how difficult it is to pull these kind of shots off. I mean, it's not a matter of making sure your actors get all their lines in one take and make sure you get everything out of your actor in one take. The pacing of the shot has to be right. The blocking and where you place your actors and things in the background has to be just right. And you need to structure your shot and pace it out to the point where it feels like there's a cut when there really isn't. Because in a lot of these long takes, you get that structure that you're accustomed to seeing in films, with that establishing long shot pushed into a medium or a close-up, and then also a reaction shot. And they do that so many times in this film, and again, I'm sitting in awe of this, like, wow, this is like the 5th time they've done it. I'm still not bored with the structure of the shot. Now, I really enjoy this film. I think this is a great film to see, and I don't want anybody taking this last thing I'm about to say about it the wrong way, because I did enjoy the film, but I do have one really big issue with it, is that it's too long, and it is very noticeable how long this movie is. The movie is a little over 2.5 hours, and you really feel those 2.5 hours, because in my opinion, 20 to 30 minutes really could have been cut out of the film, and it would have been, to me, a more satisfying running time. There's a couple scenes that I felt could have been tightened up or just cut out of the film in general, and you still would have gotten that journey that DiCaprio goes through. Because the trailer really doesn't sell what kind of film this is, because it's more of a long, slow burn type of journey type of film. And what the trailer kind of told me what this movie was going to be was like an action-filled, like Cowboys versus Indian type of thing. And that's not what this is. It's more of, you see the struggles that DiCaprio's character goes through and how far he has to go to achieve what he wants. But again, I think they could have cut a couple scenes out, trimmed it down a little bit more, make the movie a little bit tighter. But besides that one big flaw that I have, this is a very good film that I recommend you go see. And The Revenant definitely gets a high 5. Do you need to get your website up and running? One place that you need to go is domain.com. They have everything you need, from web hosting to domain registry, and it can save you a little bit of money too. Go to the link here and use the coupon code AFFNEW at checkout and save 15% off your new domain. And remember, when you think domain names, think domain.com. So The Revenant, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button below and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can click right here to see more videos by Andrew.